you for joining us. I'm Melissa Trevino. We start with international news as the United States and Israel have conducted a joint attack on multiple sites in Iran. These strikes took place in the early morning hours on Saturday. Multiple locations were reportedly hit simultaneously, including the residence of the Ayatollah. Donald Trump uploaded an 8-minute message on social media stating why the U.S. is striking Iran.
Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people.
Iran state media is stating that over 200 people were killed in the attacks, with more than 700 others injured. Now, there is still a lot of confusion over those who were injured and those who were killed in the attacks. Iranian state-affiliated outlets originally reported that the Ayatollah's son-in-law and daughter-in-law were killed in the attacks, though that was later redacted by Iranian state media. Israel officials are stating that the Iranian supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has been killed. According to CNN, they obtained a picture of his dead body. President Trump says that a large amount of Iranian leadership has been killed. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke on the attacks, which he is calling Operation Roaring Lion.
We will have to have resilience, and we have to have courage, and we're going to have to pay prices, maybe heavy prices.
Iran has launched strikes in retaliation. So far, Iran has targeted the following countries: Israel, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia. There have been confirmed strikes at a United States military base in Bahrain and multiple hotels in Dubai, which is the United Arab Emirates. The United States military has confirmed that there have been no American casualties and minimal damage to the United States facilities. So far, there has been one confirmed death in the UAE. The Iran foreign minister spoke on NBC News earlier this Saturday on how things are going in Tehran.
Well, the situation on the ground is quite, I cannot say normal, but the life is going on. Everything is under control.
One question many Americans may be wondering is, how long will this last? As of now, that answer is still unknown. In his message uploaded to social media, President Trump stated a message for the Iranian military. Take a look.
To the members of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, the armed forces, and all of the police, I say tonight that you must lay down your weapons and have complete immunity, or, in the alternative, face certain death.
President Trump followed that up with a message to the Iranian people. Take a look.
Finally, to the great, proud people of Iran, I say tonight that the hour of your freedom is at hand. Stay sheltered. Don't leave your home. It's very dangerous outside. Bombs will be dropping everywhere. When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take. This will be probably your only chance for generations.
The president also spoke on the possibility for American casualties. Here's what he had to say.
The Iranian regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future, and it is a noble mission.
The Iranian Revolutionary Guard has told ships that the passage through the Strait of Hormuz is not allowed. That's according to a report from the Reuters. Approximately 20% of the world's oil passes through the Strait of Hormuz. As of now, it is unknown what impact this will have on the price of oil or how long the strait will be closed. The U.S. State Department is now urging Americans across the Middle East to shelter in place. Parts of Saudi Arabia are also under the shelter in place, and Americans in Lebanon are being urged to leave. Americans in Turkey are being told not to travel to Iran, Iraq, or Syria. Now, whenever strikes like these happen, there are questions surrounding the presidential authority to declare strikes and subsequently declare war. Under the United States Constitution, only Congress can declare war. However, the president is considered the commander-in-chief under Article 2, and for decades, presidents have used that authority to conduct limited strikes. The War Powers Resolution of 1973 requires that the president notify Congress within 48 hours of deploying troops and mandates their removal within 60 days. It has been reported by the Associated Press that Marco Rubio notified congressional leaders before the strike.